Hello.
Hello, hello.
Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are in the world.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
I see Ryan's here, Matt's here. Hope you
Good
are
morning,
having
wherever you
a
are in the world.
Yeah.
Hope you're doing well.
fantastic day. Let me turn my.
I see
Ryan's here, Matt's here. Hope you are having a. Don't want that background noise. Don't need to hear me twice. That's the last thing we need.
That'd be fun.
Yeah, so this is very cool. So thanks so much for jumping on. And hey, Janine. Yeah, Echo. That's
Echo.
just what we need.
Yeah.
Twice.
Me twice. Martin and Lyndsay. That'd be fun.
Give me a thumbs up. Is our audio a little bit better today? Last time you were saying it was a little bit quiet. Hopefully it's a little bit louder. Hopefully you can hear us better.
And let us know in the comments, what is your favourite kind of weather? We're asking all the kind of important questions. Now,
Talking about weather again.
I don't want sunny. I want it to be very specific. So for me, it's about 8 degrees. So it's relatively on the cooler side, but it's sunny. So it's cold and sunny. That's my perfect weather.
You mean you don't like this sweltering heat and then going live with tons of lights?
Very crisp, cold, sunny, autumnal. Yes.
Yeah.
Like September, perfect. Tell me your favourite weather. I want to know. Be as specific as you can.
Yes.
What's your favourite weather?
Snow. I'm a big kid. I'm a big kid. I love it. Of course.
I say it's a pain.
Ever since we moved out here, we don't get any snow because we're on the west coast.
Him
so
to the seaside.
I miss it. I'm not gonna lie.
You do get seagulls though.
Oh, fun. That's different.
Every single morning.
Different kind of white stuff on the ground.
Yeah.
And we're off.
We're talking about seagulls, we promise you.
Yes.
Every morning, a seagull comes tap on our window. It's like 6:30. It's the same seagull, and it on our back doors, it just taps on for some extremely strange reason. We've never fed it. It's just wanting to come in, I think. I have no idea what it's doing, but yeah. Who knows?
Amazing. Well, we'll kick things off. We've got a great show for you today. We're talking all about Instagram. Mm-hmm. Instagram is such a powerful platform, especially when it comes to getting leads. Because if you know anything about us, you know we don't really care about views as much, but we care about how your video content translates into leads and then eventually into sales. And again, when we did our survey, when we surveyed thousands of people, the number one thing that people wanted to do using video was grow their audience, get more leads and get more sales, not necessarily get more views. And like I said on Wednesday, people sometimes focus on the views when they judge how successful or unsuccessful a video has been. Sometimes it can demotivate you so that you don't put out any more videos, and that's the last thing that you want.
Yeah.
So we've got some news today. We've just seen a brand new report come out. Let me share my screen a second here. This is a study done by Metricool. Cool. Oh,
yeah.
I need some Metricool.
We need some
cool. So yeah, it's an incredible platform, but it's also good to know what has changed over the past year or so, because Instagram specifically changes all the time. The huge thing that we found is that people are watching more reels than ever before. So here is a screenshot from one of the data sets that they've done, where watch time is up 118%. So specifically what that means is that when you're watching Instagram reels, people are more forgiving now if you take an extra second or two to get into the point of the video. You still want to make sure it's crystal clear, you still want to make sure there's a process there, but in 2025, the average watch time was 4 seconds, and now it's over 8 seconds.
Which is a really big jump.
It is.
In a year.
Yeah.
It's double, basically, that people are watching.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what we were talking about yesterday, wasn't it? Where we were talking about how social media, essentially you can drop the social now from social media, because essentially we are passively watching content. We're not using it as much anymore to post, to interact with our friends, to interact with people. We're using it passively, just in the same way that we watch Netflix is the same way we're watching Instagram. So there's been a big shift really in how we're consuming that content and how we're using social media. Oddly enough, less social and more media.
Absolutely.
So it's really fascinating, but there is a good opportunity, isn't there, for entrepreneurs?
Yeah, and it's an interesting question because someone's just asked the question, is it the right audience? So one of the questions someone said, Simon, is Instagram the right audience for all businesses though, or is there a specific audience it works with for the better? Now, I'm going to assume that there are people in your target market that are on Instagram, simply from statistically. You know, I go to Instagram and I consume content and I have a certain income level, I have a certain location and geography than somebody else in the world. But it's content that we want. It's entertainment and it's information and it's education. And that's why I consume content. I don't choose to use TikTok because I'm the target market for people who advertise on TikTok Shop, but I consume content wherever the people who I want to follow are creating content. So that might be music videos, it might be someone playing the guitar, it might be someone gardening. Like, entertainment and education is merging now. So we use Instagram to create content, but we also spend our time passively, you know, after tea with a nice coffee, just scrolling through reels sometimes. We all do it. And I'm a particular person that has a particular income level. Even if I worked in a corporate environment, I'm probably still going to use the popular social media platforms. Just because Instagram isn't necessarily the thing that a corporate would sit scrolling through every day, that might be LinkedIn, but they're still making decisions when they're scrolling on the bus, when they're scrolling, you know, with their coffee in the evening at 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Decaf coffee, presumably, at 9 p.m. But either way, I think we're moving away from this, my target market aren't on this platform.
The platforms are sort of merging. This is what I found. Like, the differences between Instagram and YouTube Shorts and TikTok are becoming closer rather than further apart. And even LinkedIn now, that's prioritizing short form video and putting a more short form video out there and in front of audiences, the platforms are becoming very, very similar. So like Martin said, it's more of a merge. Now, if you were looking at sort of statistics, you know, Instagram might skew more millennial woman, and YouTube Shorts, for example, would skew maybe more millennial man and Gen Z male. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't particularly be on there if that's not your target audience. What we've found is that for clients, we'll create with one platform in mind, that might be YouTube, but we repurpose it to Instagram, to TikTok and those kind of things. And they still get an incredible amount of leads and sales from those platforms because they're all kind of becoming very similar. So I wouldn't discount Instagram straight away. I would definitely do some research. Obviously, you know your audience better than we do. But it's definitely worth at least repurposing content onto there.
And also, Dr. Mary's just made a great point. You've noticed people getting leads through DM on Instagram using ManyChat. Yeah. Absolutely. So think about it this way. If your audience have a problem, if your audience have a number of problems, and you can envisage that they're going to be on platforms like Instagram, then it's a great lead source. You know, we set up ManyChat automations. You don't even need automation to do it. You can do it manually. You could post right now, do a reel and say, I help people get fit and healthy. If you're over 40 and you want to send me a DM, then send me a DM and I'll reply to you. Like it's very, very easy. As long as you understand, and this is the conversation with platforms, sometimes it comes up all the time, but the way I look at content creation and the way I look at getting leads and sales is all problem based. If you have a problem and you want to find out how to find a solution to that problem, then send me a DM, download this free report, join my upcoming webinar. It doesn't matter what platform I'm on. If I have a problem and you tell me that you can solve the problem, I'm paying attention. Yeah. I really, really am. Like at the moment, what we're trying to do is we're trying to navigate Facebook ads. So what I've done is I'm scrolling through different creatives and I'm screenshotting things, and I'm also being advertised to from people who are selling Facebook ads training and Facebook ad templates and stuff, and I'm seeing that on multiple platforms. So it really doesn't matter. What I'm looking for is a solution to my problem.
Yeah, definitely. And the more specific you are, I think, in how you describe that problem. You know, if you're on Instagram or YouTube or whatever it might be, that's the most important thing, isn't it? It's not just like, do you want to get fit and healthy? It's like, if you're a woman, you're over 50, you've hit menopause, you've noticed that it's, you know, a lot more of a struggle to lose weight. You know, be as specific as you can about that target audience, and really make them think, wow, they're actually saying what's been in my head. As soon as you start getting to that level where, you know, you're really getting into your audience's minds and repeating what they think in their own head, even if they don't say it out loud, that's when you really start to see really good results. And yeah, as Martin said, it's not really platform specific, is it? It's just a case of doing it as many places as you can.
Exactly. And we've got a few other statistics from this one, which is an interesting one.
Really, really good one. Yeah. So essentially, you know, telling people this is about, so, you know, not just the like button being important, but tell people what you want them to do. Tell people that you want them to comment, you want them to share it, you want them to save it. If you do that, then if you give direct instructions in your Instagram posts, carousels, reels, whatever it might be, if you give a direct instruction telling them what to do, then they will do it. But you have to say, if you want to save this, then save this. If you want to comment, then comment. And you know, if you do that, then it's much more likely to see success. I think if people say, save this post and come back to it later, if you just say that sentence, it doubles the amount of saves.
Doubles.
I know. Wow.
Wow.
I'm going to start doing that on our clients' posts. I'm going to just on a carousel, because we do tons of carousels as well. And I'm just going to say, you know, save this and come back to it. And just even giving that direction makes people save it. And you know, if more people are saving it, that tells Instagram that it's valuable, gets shown to more people, and all good stuff happens from there. So yeah.
There's actually two of the most successful ways to get leads off the back of Instagram if you are posting reels or content in general. And one of them is stories. So if you follow me on social media, I just posted, if you follow me on Instagram, I've just posted before this session, which is a direct link to this live show as we're speaking right now. I did this 20 minutes ago. I said we're going live in 20 minutes and I included a link. You can also do that with lead magnets. You can do this if you want someone to go to your contact page. That's one of the best ways to get leads, because a lot of your followers will see your stories. But unfortunately, it's mostly your followers that will see your stories rather than new followers. It's only people you follow typically that you see their stories. So if you want to get in front of people who are not your audience, then you want to use Reels, because Reels is the number one way for you to reach people outside of your followers. That's why Reels are so important. And based on this result here, based on this report, people are giving you a little bit longer at the start of the video to be able to hook them and to be able to generate that interest, so that at the end of the video you can actually say, I would love it if you could drop the word grow below and I will send you a link to my upcoming webinar or whatever your free offer is. And we do use ManyChat as the automation mechanism for that, and it works remarkably well. It's really easy to set it up. Once you've done one or two of them, you can just duplicate it and rotate them. But it's been phenomenally successful for us.
Yeah, but you still have to hook people in, don't you?
You do.
You do have to kind of get them pretty much. I mean, Martin, you're probably being quite generous there by saying you have a bit more time. I probably don't think that you have more time. I think people are just watching reels for longer because they're getting used to it. But I think that you do need to hook people very, very quickly into your content.
Absolutely. And also another bit of research that's come out is a guy called Brock Johnson. Go and follow him, he's phenomenal. But he's just recently announced that skip rate, so when you skip a video, is the number one most important statistic when it comes to Instagram Reels specifically. So what that means is that if you're watching a video and everybody is skipping it within the first few seconds, then that's the biggest signal to Instagram that they shouldn't show it to many other people. So that's why the hook is so important. Even more than likes and shares and comments, skip rate is the number one indicator. And I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does make sense. So I mean, obviously the question is like, how do you hook someone in? We have kind of many sort of methods of hooking people in, but one of the rules that we tend to follow in Reels is verbal hook, visual hook, and what's the third one?
The text-based.
Text-based. I always wanted to have a V. I think that's why. Verbal, visual, and then I'm like, what is the third V? It's not a V. We need a word. If anyone can think of a word for text that begins with V, that would be vocabulary hook. That would be really, really good. But essentially, a verbal hook is, what you say to get someone hooked in. A visual hook, this is something that people forget a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
And mainly entrepreneurs, when they're doing reels, they're kind of like, they're
still
very still and they're remembering. But the more you can have some movement, even doing this with your hands, if you've got glasses on, moving them top of your head, taking a sip of your drink, putting it down, doing something with your hair, whatever it is, the more movement, the better. And it really engages people, because people are so used to people being very still on camera. So if you can have that visual hook, that's better. And then the text-based hook is really simple, and it's so annoying if you forget this, because we read faster than we listen. So you will see kind of there's a box that comes up on a reel, and it'll have a really good hook in that box. So even something like HMRC are doing what now? Exclamation mark, question mark, something like that would get you hooked in straight away, because you'd read that and think, what are they doing? And you would stop and watch that video. So having those three elements, a verbal hook, a visual hook, and a text-based hook, vocabulary hook. I want it 3 Vs. It's got to be 3 Vs.
We'll figure it out.
Is some of the best ways to kind of get people hooked into your video content.
Yeah, and text-based hook it's all about curiosity. So, like Lyndsay alluded to it then, HMRC are doing what now? So it might be, this is the biggest red flag when trying to attract clients. When you say this, people are curious about what this is. If you said something along the lines of, I can't believe my client said this, again, we're leaning into curiosity. If you're trying to teach people the value of video content, as an example, you could say, this is making me crazy. And the words at the top could be, this is making me crazy, because people want to know what's making you crazy. And it's just the
this
air,
weather.
the air of curiosity is so powerful, and that will keep people engaged. That's really, really important when it comes to creating content. So the hook, based on those 3 things, you can't go far wrong. Now, if you're really bold, what you've probably seen is you've seen people capture your attention to stop the scroll by holding up some funny little microphone. I was doing it this morning, and I was holding up a little ornament chicken. I said, don't be a chicken when it comes to creating video content. I can see the chicken.
I really want to go and get it.
And you could hold something up that's a little bit more gimmicky if you really want to. There's this guy that teaches people to hold a banana, because people are like, why is he holding a banana? He's got his microphone attached to a banana because it's something different. I'm not saying that you need to do that, but there needs to be something different about your videos. Otherwise, people won't stop. They won't be intrigued. They won't just see the same kind of person in the same office holding their phone and stop, because it's all the same thing. That's why you want something a little bit different. So we have one of our members, Summon, who had this blouse on, and she had the bow on the blouse, and as she's delivering her verbal hook, you've got a text-based hook at the top, but you've also got this bow that she's folding or tying.
Yeah.
And it's just something psychologically captivating, or something's happening that's not in I wasn't expecting this. Something small, and that could just be moving your glasses up and down. So I keep hitting my microphone. Or it could just be, running your fingers through your hair. It's a really simple way for you to capture someone and get them to give you an extra couple of seconds while you deliver your verbal hook. The text-based hook is so important because people will read quicker than they will listen. So if it takes you 3 seconds, 4 seconds to you deliver one of the hooks of the day that we've been sharing with you, then that extra text-based hook is going to grip somebody in the moment, providing that you don't reveal the answer. That's the secret to text-based hooks. So when you have a little title at the top of your video for the first 5 seconds maybe, that needs to be something that sticks with somebody, that they think, oh, I'm going to have to carry on watching the video if I want to carry on watching, if I want to get the answer to this. It's something that will always perform. Stories in general, there's always this unanswered question, this open loop. So if you can have that unanswered question, that open loop in the first few seconds of the video, people will stick around for longer.
Yeah, and then you have to, it's not just about the hook then, you have to then really deliver a really good video in total. And we've all seen TV programs or films, I think, that have an epic opening and then it's just sort of flatlines. And that's what we don't want. Essentially what you want is you want a really good opening and you want the ending in mind, and you want to think, how do I get someone from that opening to the end in the most interesting way possible? And Martin actually has a really good kind of methodology for that, don't you?
Yeah, so the problem with video content in general is you think if I just put out enough video, people will buy from me or people will watch. But it's actually making somebody watch one video and understanding the science and the psychology behind what makes an effective short form video, so that you can then repeat it and improve it over and over and over again. If you're just putting out the same videos and you're just delivering messages and you just think, I'm just going to show up and I'm just going to Rolodex it, I'm going to say what's up top of the mind and I'm just going to deliver it and post it, you're never going to know if the message could have worked or not. If you're getting stuck in this 200 view jail, which a lot of people do, then it's a real problem. So there's a simple 3-part framework that you can use, and it's easy to remember. It's called HOP, H-O-P. And it starts with the hook, which we've just explained, the verbal hook, the text-based hook, and the visual hook. And that's using something that's interesting and curiosity-driven is going to make people feel, oh, I'm interested in this. But if you go about the rest of the video in the wrong way, then people will just stop halfway through. So I want you to think about this from a story point of view. You don't start watching a movie, like Lyndsay mentioned, movies do this all the time, and then you get halfway through and think, oh, I don't really need to watch the rest. It's positioned and it's built and it's structured in a way that means you have to watch right until the end, and that's what your videos should do. So in the beginning, you open the loop and you ask the unanswered question. You get people thinking, oh, I wonder what is going to say, I wonder what she's going to deliver at the end of this video. And then at the end of the video, you will deliver on that promise and you'll satisfy that curiosity. But it's what you do in the middle that matters. So we've got the hook, and then we have the prize at the end. So we know, if you imagine a bridge, we've got the hook, which is the starting point, and the prize, which is at the end of the bridge, the destination. What do you do in between? Well, that's where the O comes in, and that's obstacles or opportunities. So if you were to say, okay, I want to tell people that they just need to create an amazing hook to create a video. And in order to do that, you just need these 3 things, and you say it all within the first 5 seconds. There's no point in watching the rest of the video. People need to feel some tension. They need to feel that the anticipation is building. And even if it's a 30-second video, you can still do this. So you need to include some obstacles to make people think, oh, I better pay attention because there's some obstacles or some dangers. Or you want to highlight the opportunities. So as an example, I might say to you that there's one thing that I did in 2020 that made content creation so easy for the next 5 years that it was almost child's play. Okay, so that's my hook. Imagine I wrote a book, which is the actual message. I'm going to go on to say, we wrote a book in 2020, and that meant that we could repurpose it over and over and over again. But if I go in and deliver that prize straight away, it's going to be like, oh, well, that was okay, so a bit anticlimactic.
The prize is the book.
The prize is the answer. So you've got a secret that you want to share on video. You need to drive that curiosity at the start of the video, but everything in between needs to be building on it. So take the book example. I did something in 2020 that made content creation so simple it was almost child's play. I'm not going to say it's the book just yet. So I'm going to create either obstacles or opportunities. So an obstacle might be, for years I tried to create content and it just felt like I was hitting my head against a brick wall. I tried LinkedIn and it didn't work. I tried YouTube and it didn't work. There was one thing that made the biggest difference. So you see how I've shown you the tension, I've articulated the pitfalls and the dangers of not taking action or not paying attention to the end of the video. And the one thing is we locked ourselves in our house and we wrote a book, and then I was able to get tons of content ideas and we just repurposed it all and it made it content easy and fun. The other thing that you can do in that middle part is you can say, I did something in 2020, so we get the hook, but you sell the opportunity. And you sell, if you've ever struggled with content creation, this is going to make it so simple. I did this and it made it It made it so easy for me to publish content every single day. It made it easier for me to get clients. And not only that, it made it easier for me to get ideal clients all off the back of my content. Here's exactly what I did in 2020. We wrote a book. And then I was able to repurpose it. So you see what I'm saying? Hopefully that makes sense.
And so there's two key mistakes I think that people make when doing this. One, they reveal the prize very quickly, too soon. And two, if they do build that tension and then they reveal the prize, they then continue talking, explaining the prize. And like we say, you know, a comedian doesn't deliver the punchline and then explain the punchline to you and they move on to the next joke. So once you've delivered the prize, stop talking. Don't explain the prize. So sometimes our videos are often shorter, you know, on the shorter side because that's what they're doing. But what you want is someone to get to the end of the video. If you're then explaining the prize, so for example, if Martin then said, I wrote a book, and this is how I wrote a book, or this is, you know, and went into, you know, how to write a book and all that kind of stuff, that would lose people. So
because you've delivered the prize. So I think the rule is know what the value is, know what the prize is at the end, and when you deliver it, end the video as soon as you can. Because if you have a 1-minute video and you deliver the prize after 10 seconds, people don't feel the need to watch the rest of the video. So have the starting point as the hook, have the prize at the end, and then all you're doing is building the tension, selling the idea of this amazing situation, or telling people that if they don't take action and they don't listen to what you did, they're going to miss out on something. So all it is a hook, obstacles or opportunities, and then prize at the end. And a nice small 30-second video. If you build every video like that, you can't go far wrong. And that leads us perfectly into the hook of the day. I'm not going to go through yesterday because we forgot the day before one.
You tricked me yesterday.
But this is perfectly placed based on what we've discussed today, based on the report, and based on the fact that it's timely. So I want you to see if you can use this one as well. I saw this stat the other day that blew my mind. Now, we've used this inside of our content bootcamp a couple of times, and everybody loves it because it's built on trust and credibility. It's built on data. It's built on specificity, and it's built on your reaction to it.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels timely as well. It feels like, and you'll notice this about a lot of reels, it feels like someone's just hopped onto their phone and been like, oh my God, I have to share this with you right away. It's not. They've not just hopped onto their phone and thought, I have to share this with you right away. They've probably had that planned into their video content recording day, but it feels like that to the audience. And that's why I like this one. Oh my God, I've just seen a stat that's blown my mind. Like
everybody wants to know, don't they?
Yeah, it's just like instant. And I really need to share it with you. I've just seen it and right this second.
Now, bear in mind, you can still use the framework, the HOP principle here, because the intention or the want is for you to share the statistic as quickly as you can. But let's take everything we've talked about today into account. Imagine that the statistic is the prize. What can you do in order to build up a little bit of that tension? So one of the things that we could do based on what we've discussed today is, I saw this stat the other day that blew my mind. Instagram Reels are more important than ever before. If you're not using Instagram Reels, then you're going to want to start, because I just read a report and it's absolutely blown my mind. Okay, so that's the tension, that's the opportunity in the middle of it. Average watch time is up 118% compared to 2025, with watch time going from an average of 4 seconds to 8 seconds. Can you really afford to not be creating Reels right now? It's insane.
And
jump on it.
Stop.
And then you stop. Jump on it. So you can build a little bit of tension. Now, obviously, if you have more value to deliver, but it's different, then there's some wiggle room there. But ultimately, know what the prize is at the start of the video and lead people to that curiosity as much as you possibly can. Nothing wrong with short videos. Short videos, like we said yesterday, do get shared a lot more because people are watching them a lot more. And the average watch time increases, which is a good signal to Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Cool. We're at time, so let's do the final prize draw. We've not even mentioned the prize draw. We're going to be giving Vincent away along with the rest of the amazing prizes. I think it's official.
It's official. He's now called Vincent Van Goat. Thank you so much. Is Alison?
Anna.
Anna,
Yeah,
sorry.
so thank you so much, Anna. You've got a goat coming your way
Yes,
as
you
well.
have got
So
a goat coming your way. You've got
thank
your
you
own
so
Vincent.
much for finding the best name. We really appreciate that.
And thank you everyone who gave their names as well, including Goatee McGoatface.
Yes.
That is a British classic. So yeah, that was very good as well. Well done.
So, do you have the random number generator?
I will do now, and then
I will get the drum roll. So, this is the third day of the prize draw. This is the last batch of £500 worth of goodies. Now, obviously, we know that you've been attending because you want to get the value and you want to continue creating content. But we also know that you're interested in winning the prizes as well.
And that's good.
The prizes run out today, but I would absolutely implore you to continue to come to these sessions. We're committed to you. We're committed to our audience. We're committed to helping you access the best, most up-to-date information and the best strategies so you can grow your audience, get more leads and sales coming in. So we would love it if you continue to come, get yourself a coffee or a ice pop or a Calippo, depending on the weather,
if you
and show up every day,
them.
because we're going to be here, we're going to be live, we're going to be taking our insights and knowledge and sharing it with you every single day without gatekeeping any of it. So I'd love to see you next week. We're going all week next week, Monday to Friday, 1 till 1:30 UK time.
Yeah.
Okay, random number generator. Let me get the drum roll.
Number 27.
27.
Again, I feel like I'm like a bingo caller.
There we go, 27. Let's have a look. Who is that? Claire McCabe. Fantastic. Now, here's the thing. Claire is actually one of our Jammy team members.
Well done, Claire.
So Claire is. We're going to send Claire some cool stuff anyway,
Yes.
but I don't think it's fair that we give Claire.
No,
So-
plus she already has quite a bit of it.
She already has a lot
Because
of
she
gear.
works for Jammy. So there's now an opportunity number 2. Well, Claire, we will send you. And obviously we'll send Claire a goat.
Of course we will,
as well.
absolutely. It's not very fair if we give our team the goodies, is it? So, if that's not your name, which I don't think it is, then let's do another random number.
Number 99.
Okay, now if this is another team member, things are going to look very suspicious. Okay, 99.
It's Lyndsay Cambridge, that's what it is. I get to keep the goat.
Okay, who's this? Dene Bentley.
Well done.
Congratulations, Dene.
Some goodies are coming through to the post to you and a goat.
Fantastic.
Get very excited.
So we
Well
really
done.
appreciate it. Happy
Yeah.
Friday, everyone. Really do appreciate you spending some time with us this week. Next week is going to be even better. It's going to be a bit cooler, so that's going to be great.
I hope so.
And we can't wait to share tons more insights with you because there's an awful lot to get through.
Yeah.
And we're here every step of the way. Thanks so
everyone.
much, everyone.
See you next
Have
week.
a great weekend. Speak soon. Bye for now.
Bye.